Hello, everybody. Melissa here. I wanted to go live and talk about some of the things that I experienced this week and just different, life stuff. And so, as you all know, I'm working on, I already created and built my business, The Insurance Exam Queen, and things are going very well. I have a monetized YouTube channel. I have daily sales coming in. I've already replaced my corporate income times 3 at this point, somewhere around there. I'm not the best at labeling and categorizing numbers and things like that, but I'm making plenty of money that I'm okay in my life. And now I've been working with a business life coach, Christine Hayes, who's absolutely amazing and wonderful. She's the woo and the do. Not only do we talk about emotions, feelings, and energy, but also understanding, business strategies. She came from a big Victoria's Secret and Coca-Cola. She knows a whole bunch of stuff. She's absolutely amazing. And she has been telling me over and over again that I need to hire someone for different things and to get help and to utilize, the help of people that as a manifester. So when you look into human design, which is like understanding how you're built, I'm known as a manifester, and a thing about a manifester is they get an idea and then they give it to someone else and let them run off with it. We are not the ones that are meant to be doing, the little things. And every time that she has told me to go hire someone or to get work, and she's even offered me her own admin assistant to help me for a very reasonable rate, and I have still resisted, receiving that support and that help. And this has been a conversation that's been going on for the last month, 2 months even, about how I need to hire people and get help and pay money for different things. Now, I have invested in different things in my YouTube channel. I also pay someone to do a TikTok for me. There are things that I do pay and that I do have people do, but it tends to be the things that either I just don't really need a lot. Like YouTube, it was a family friend, so that was pretty easy. It wasn't a big thing for me. And then TikTok, I don't really care too much about TikTok in that I never go on it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. It's too many videos all at once. But knowing that I have a stream of audience available at TikTok, that's why I wanted to get on TikTok. But the bigger stuff, things that can really catapult me into making larger sums of money and sales and things like that, I've been resistant and hesitant to hiring someone. And we had a coaching call sometime earlier in this week, and it was kind of like a hot seat coaching where everyone got a chance and opportunity to talk and ask her questions. And I said, I keep finding myself knowing that there's certain things that I want to do or have done or have be accomplished in order for the business to grow, and that I struggle with even accomplishing little things like making TikTok videos. The girl who runs my TikTok is like, can you send me new videos? Can you send me new videos? Can you send me new videos? Like, I'm paying her to run it and I'm not even giving her content to put on there. And I'm like, why is it so hard for me to just make a 3-minute video and send it to her, or like a 90-second video and send it to her to get this, up and going? Or why is it hard for me to sit down and accomplish a task? I'll get distracted with something else. I was like, I don't understand. I worked in a corporate company where I just got my stuff done. I sat at the desk, I got it done. But when it's like working for myself or doing it for myself or whatever, I seem to struggle really badly with actually accomplishing that task or getting it done. And so the TikTok was one of the examples. So in this coaching call, I said, for example, one of these is TikTok, where I just can't even seem to send her a quick little video each day so that she can, upload it. I'm struggling with this. And then Christine started asking me specific questions about TikTok and how I felt about TikTok and all these things, and giving, guidance and direction. And then my whole body was like, it's not about TikTok. And I just got so frustrated at this conversation because it wasn't about TikTok. But the thing is that frustration wasn't meant for her. That was meant for me to really expose myself to what is happening. And what was happening, and I realized this in a call with her, it's in an audio message. And I'm in this audio message and I'm talking to her and I'm saying, I really hate even just going on Fiverr and trying to find someone to do something simple for me because you can't trust them. You don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of like online dating. It's very frustrating. And then throughout that conversation, I realized I don't trust anybody. I don't trust that, if I were to hire you to get it done, you would get it done. One, because I have hired people who don't get stuff done. that's been a thing. But that's also who I'm attracting as well. So I have a lack of trust in, trusting that other people will do it, trusting that spending them the money to get this thing done. And then it's also a lack of trust for myself and that I can work for myself instead of working for another person. So this kind of comes back to, trauma as a child where you might become like a people pleaser. So if your parents have created a home environment where they are the pinnacle, they are everything, and whatever they're thinking or feeling is the main focus of the family, little children end up becoming little people pleasers to parents like that. And that's true in my family as well. So everything, like the whole world evolved around my dad. And if he was not at peace, then no one was at peace. And we all had to appease him so that he could be calm and not be screaming and yelling most of the day. So I have this deeply ingrained program that wants me to take care of everyone else and appease everyone else and not really take care of myself. And this was also something that I realized, being married with David, where I'm happy to cook him 3 meals a day, fresh, organic, made meals. And yet I struggle to do the same thing for myself. I can do it for someone else. I can't seem to do it for myself. So when it really hit me that this is all a lack of trust, because she said, you're trying to control, you're trying to control, you're trying to control. And I'm like, I don't want control. Like the last thing I want is control. I want someone else to do all these things. I don't want to have to do all these things. I want a CEO. I want someone else to do this. I don't want control over these things, but everything that I'm doing makes it look like I have a control problem. Because I can't give it away, I can't hire someone else, or I can't trust someone else to do it. So it looks like I have control issues where I want to keep control or perfectionism. But what it really is was a lack of trust in other people and a lack of trust to work for myself, that I need to be working for someone else or appeasing someone else in order for me to be okay, because that was pretty much the basis of my entire childhood. And then a lot of revelations have been happening recently between my daughter and I and David. We're all deeply connected to one another. We all have very similar traumas, and we've all been in very traumatized situations together with one another. And when I got married with David, I had let him know, hey, I have an adoptive daughter. She has this past history of trauma and abuse. She doesn't always have the best behaviors because she's reeling and dealing with this trauma from her past. And I'm the one adult who sticks around and helps her through this, even though I don't know what I'm doing, and I fail many, many times. And sometimes I might make it worse because I don't know what I'm doing. And I myself am also traumatized. I'm not even, that much more ahead than she is in terms of understanding trauma and dealing with it and healing. But I never give up, and I will, I'm ride or die with her. We'll figure this out. And when we got married, he was like, yeah, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to, be that male figure and support you in this. But once we all met and we were in this situation, the two of them started fighting because in his mind, he was like, well, I'm going to protect, this woman that I love, and her adoptive daughter is mad at her, screaming and yelling at her. So I need to protect her. And now he was then, screaming back at her. And I get where he was coming from, but he wasn't in a place of understanding that we're working with a traumatized person, that they've gone through a lot of stuff, that they have a lot of programming and conditioning, and that whatever they're saying isn't personal to me, but that it's just going to come out that way. So instead of being a person who was going to work with me on this and stand beside me in this moment of trusting that you will be my partner through this, and that we will provide the love and support that I want to be able to provide to my daughter, because I haven't always been in the best position to do that. But I want to be, and the very first moment of struggle, he's gone. And what I mean by he's gone was he wasn't ready to ride or die. He wasn't ready to be a support system. In fact, now he was angry at her, and then the two of them didn't like each other. And now I'm stuck in the middle, and where I was like, I put all my trust and faith into him that he would, stand beside me with and have her, as my daughter, and to give her the love and the support and the kindness and the compassion that she needs and deserves, having been such a traumatized child like myself and like him. He was now putting her on the outside saying, I don't like her. I don't like the way she behaves. I don't like any of this. And while that's all fair to some level, that's part of the job as being an adoptive parent, is knowing and understanding that your child may come to you with issues and problems and concerns that will end up, being put onto you, but that's just part of the job, and you handle that and you don't take it personal, and you just provide the love and the support and the compassion. So, and then he also left, right? So there's a huge mass amount of trust that the most recent person that I was like, full blown trust, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make this happen, and that, right? So then with my business, it's very difficult to want to trust and to put that out there. And all of this came into realization just recently. To me, I thought I was procrastinating. I thought I was being lazy. I thought that I'm just too comfortable with a 9-to-5, and that I'm trying to shift out of the zone. I had all kinds of excuses and reasons for why I'm not hiring someone, why I'm not asking for help, and why I'm just dealing with everything myself. And they were just loads and loads of excuses and reasons. And I didn't know they were excuses or reasons. Like the problem you think is the problem is not the problem. That's just what you're seeing. There's usually a problem or something underneath the surface. So my problem was like, I'm procrastinating, I'm lazy, I'm not getting stuff done, I want to accomplish things, I'm not. But that's the surface level. The bottom level is that I didn't trust anybody. I didn't even trust myself. And that I'm more inclined to work for other people and please other people because of my trauma with growing up in a household where we had to cater to our dad and his mood. And if he was unhappy, everyone was unhappy. And so we did everything we can to keep him happy and to appease him so that we would be okay. So that is the programming, that is the conditioning that I am running off of all the time, is to please someone else, keep someone else happy, and the world will be okay. And it's never me. Like, it's not me that I'm keeping happy. It's not me that I'm taking care of myself. And when you look at my history, I take care of my friends. I take care of my family. I'll at the drop of a dime, I will support anyone around me who needs it. Anything, like, my family's like, if they need something, just call Melissa, she'll take care of it, right? Like, that's who I am in the family, but I'm not doing that for myself. I'm not holding myself to that same level of support and trust, and which is why I am seeking it in other people. I was seeking to have that in David instead of just having it for myself. So everything that I just explained about our relationship and the things that happened were all lessons helping to guide me to this point where it's like, trusting in someone else is cool and all, but do you have that for yourself first? Can you stand for yourself first? Can you put yourself first and not have to rely on people pleasing, someone else? So those were just some crazy big shifts that I had. And right when the realization came on that I had this lack of trust, this trust issues, I happened to also have an RTT follow-up, so rapid transformation therapy with Alina. It's absolutely amazing. I love it so much. And part of what you do is you go, you kind of do a hypnosis meditation, and you go back into memories and experiences that you've had as a child to help remind you why you have, trust issues or whatever it is that you're talking about. So the very first memory that we went into during the guided hypnosis meditation was when we were on road trips, and we were, and like there's 3 girls, we're in the back of the van, giggling, screaming, laughing. I don't know. We were just sitting in the van all day. So we're just being children. And our dad is so frustrated with us that he pulled over to the side of the road, made us get out, stand on the side of the road on an interstate in some random place, and then drove off. And he could be gone for like 15, 20 minutes. I honestly don't even remember, but I remember that this happened a lot, that he would just leave us off on the side of the road. So of course I have trust issues. When my own parents will abandon me on the side of the road and leave, and I don't know if they're going to come back, of course I'm going to, have issues with trust. And then one of the next memories that came in was there was a period of time my mom was in a horrible car accident, and she ended up falling into depression. She had lots of stuff going on, and she would just be sleeping all day long. And my dad would even join her. So they would just be in their room sleeping. I remember it being a dark room all the time. And I remember going in and asking, like, can we have some breakfast? You know, can you come make us some food? And they'd be like, yeah, we'll be there in a minute. And then we would leave, and then they would stay asleep. And this could go on for like hours, asking them to come out of the room, and they didn't. And I don't know how often this happened. I don't know if it was like one day, if this was a 2-week span. I don't even remember. But I do remember that there was multiple instances in which I felt I was asking for help. I was asking for food. I was asking for my parents to come, and they were not. And that, of course, how can, trust issues, if your parents can't even provide you with food, then how are you going to, feel? And so these are, leaving your children on the side of the road, that's a pretty extreme example. And then this one, and not even so, we had food. It's not like I was starving by any means, but nobody was coming to help in the kitchen and to help us get the food. And they were just in the rooms sleeping. And going through, maybe both of them had a depressive episode. I don't know, but whatever, like that's where it was. So then we worked on that, and she asked me to go to my body of where I feel this lack of trust is. And it felt like this huge circle on my chest, and that it's like a wormhole, that it's like a vacuum, and that it can never be full. And it's like, no matter what I get in my life, no matter what I receive, it's just a vacuum and just being sucked out. And this can never be satisfied. It felt like I'm walking on a ball all the time, like a ball that's constantly in motion. You have to keep walking or you're going to fall. Or like sinking sand, that I'm constantly walking and sinking sand. And that's the kind of feeling I have when it comes to trusting other people, or, wanting to work with other people and things like that. Is it feels like it's never permanent, that it's always sinking sand. It's always moving. It's a vacuum. It's never satisfied. You have to keep filling it, keep filling it, keep filling it. And even if you fill it, it's just still empty again. And that's what the lack of trust felt in my body, like this wormhole. So then we worked on, identifying that and understanding that it came in to protect me because of the lack of trust that I experienced in my life. That if I could keep myself from trusting other people, then I could take care of myself and not need other people, which is a protective measure from, trauma and survival. And we, imagined a golden healing light around the wormhole and like closing it up. And since then, I have felt so much more amazing. I've been able to do things that I before was struggling or lacking on. I'm still getting into a space of making it a routine and typical and normal for me to rely and trust on, other people. But I know that this is pretty common for people to have a lack of trust, and thus it looks like control issues on the outside or perfectionism or something like that. But there can be so much underneath the surface of what that actually means and what's actually going on than what you're currently seeing as the presenting symptom. So whatever it is that is going on in your world or your environment, understand that there might be something underneath the surface that is leading to that, and it's not actually the surface problem that is the problem, that there's something else going on. And for me, it ended up being a lack of trust for others and for myself. And then just to do things for myself, to truly do things for myself and not have, well, okay, I can work if it's a boss and it's a salary, but if it's for me, I'm not really working. Like, why? What is going on? And it was that people-pleasing lack of trust that was causing that. And without doing the healing, without doing the understanding of emotions, without understanding how your mind, body, and soul is all connected and how all of that functions, I wouldn't have really been able to get to the point of understanding that. And I could keep beating myself up for procrastinating or being lazy when that isn't even the issue. Those were all avoidance strategies and techniques that my mind and body were using unconsciously to protect me from trusting other people. And when you realize that your brain, body, and mind can be doing behaviors and things unaware of your conscious mind, it's hard to eliminate those behaviors if you don't know the root cause of them or why they're happening. So when you see yourself procrastinating or being lazy or attempting to control people or whatever it may be, understand that there may be there's a reason why. There is something behind it, a memory, a trigger, a painful time, something, a belief system, a conditioning, a programming that is telling you need to think, feel, and function this way in order to protect yourself, and it ends up being counterintuitive to what it is that you really want in your life. So just wanted to share that with everybody, and thank you all for coming and listening. Hopefully, my goal in all of this is that you can resonate with it, that you learn something from it, that you discover something about yourself, and to not beat yourself up. This whole time that I've been feeling like I'm procrastinating or being lazy or struggling with these things, I haven't been mean to myself or, oh, Melissa, you're so fucking lazy, you haven't got anything done. I don't have those thoughts or voices anymore that used to beat me up all the time. I'm not in the place where I listen to those or hear those anymore. That used to be my 24/7 voice. But I've done a lot of healing work to, eliminate all of that. So I'm not beating myself up, but I am open and aware of, okay, this isn't functioning the way I want it to. What would allow it to function the way I want it to? And why might I be unconsciously behaving or doing things in a way to prevent what it is that I actually want because of some old programming, some outdated, conditioning within my body, like the people pleasing my dad, because if I didn't, everything would go to chaos. And so we had to keep him happy. We had to keep his mood stable. That's just wild. My whole childhood was based on keeping my dad's mood stable. What? I should have been living as a child. So anyway, there's lots of stuff in our history, in our past, that can determine how we behave today. And until you become aware of them or understand them, they're going to continue running your life. And it's not the way that you want them to run because they are old, outdated systems and programs. So be aware, be open to, ready to admit, be open to dig into it. I highly recommend Rapid Transformation Therapy, RTT, and also Christine Hayes. Absolutely amazing business coach. Love it all around. So yeah, all of you have a fantastic day. Bye.